Hello.
Fuck's sake.
Perfect timing, honestly.
Oh, unreal. That's such a fucking mess as well. Fuck's sake.
Turned on cam, straight up. It was literally like you on.
Half of my cam was just a bit of fucking sperm off, dude. When you told me topics, to be honest, one of the jobs that I put down as the worst is whoever's job it is to cryogenically freeze and then unfreeze Michael Bublé every December.
Imagine
What do you
that.
do? What do you do for the other 11 months of the year? Like,
That's a good point, yeah. Cryogenic chair.
like Michael Bublé's manager, like his family just eating scraps out of. What do you see? Tiny dick next to my name.
Oh shit!
It's on the Discord
Oh,
server.
yeah.
On
Yes.
the Discord server for my friend group, I nicknamed myself Tiny Dick.
I feel like we have to go on to 10 worst jobs now.
10 worst jobs.
Yeah, we've already started. Number 1 being the person that has to take Michael Bublé out of his cryogenic chamber.
See, nah, they're in no particular order, but that was in fact number 9 on my list.
Okay, worst jobs. See, I haven't actually really even given the worst jobs that much thought. It was my mum's idea. So I'm sort of thinking. See, I think for me personally, if I had to do a job that involved packing chocolate without eating it, I would thoroughly hate that job.
Your answers are way more fun than mine.
Why?
My
What's
number one
yours?
was Doctor, because fuck that. That seems well stressful.
10 out of 10 for stress.
Number 2
Nightmare.
was streamer/content creator.
Why? Because it's skin.
Even
Because you're constantly skin.
I don't know, because if you're doing it full time, like, it's not that you're skint, but it's like, even when I was just an editor, it was fucking mad, like working deadlines and shit.
Yeah.
And being like a full-time streamer, just having to be always on for like 6 to 8 hours a day, always online.
It is effort to
And
be
then like
fair,
when I was streaming like kind of like regularly and stuff, it just killed my love for the game that I streamed so fast. And then I tried streaming something else and my stream just died.
Yeah.
So yeah, fuck that effort
Yeah.
in it. Can't be arsed.
It is. It's a fickle industry. I will admit. It's
Vapid and vacuous. Right?
yes,
Vapid.
indeed. So I could agree on that. I mean, it's also quite rewarding, but yeah, it's difficult as well.
Yeah, whatever.
So I don't know whether I'd place chocolate, having to pack it with pack chocolate without eating it would be worse though, because I think it would for me.
I love yours being like, oh yeah, couldn't pack chocolate without eating it because I want to eat the chocolate, and me being like, oh, it's so depressing having to be always happy, you know? What a fucking contrast, dude.
Literally, doctor, being on all the time, working harder all the time, blah blah blah. Chocolate packing.
Yeah, welcome to Alelia's baggage. It's not even yours, it's my baggage.
Welcome to
Let me
baggage
talk
with
about
Amelia
my
Place.
dad. Yeah, my third was a continuation of the streamer, and just anybody in the public sphere, like actor or musician or anything like that, can't be asked. Too much effort, isn't it? Too much hassle.
But would
Who
you
wants
say,
that?
would that be like the worst job for you, or just the worst job generally speaking?
Oh, I just think the worst job, generally speaking. You know, it's 7 PM on a Thursday. I just want to go to Sainsbury's and buy shitloads of Oatly's new ice cream, which is incredible, by the way. You want to do like a bit of like last minute late night shopping.
Yeah.
Hop into Tesco, and then you get swarmed by people. Suddenly you're in Tesco taking pictures for 40 minutes, and if you don't, then everyone's whining about you on Twitter. Nobody wants that. Shit. Can't be asked. Too much effort.
Okay,
no
yeah,
one wants
fair.
that.
Okay, I can understand that.
I think there are very few people who like openly enjoy fame because it ruins your life. You can't do anything. You can't go out.
You can't actually. I mean, this is true. So I was like even when you're just walking around like London or something, you never see famous people. So what do they do? Like, how do they go out and try on clothes and buy clothes?
Oh, to be fair, I saw Jack Whitehall once in Sainsbury's. I
Did
didn't
you?
say anything though, 'cause I don't think he's very funny, so I didn't say anything. But I did see him.
I need to think of a worse job as well.
I've got more.
Bar manager.
I put bar service.
It is the worst.
Yeah, I literally put bar service brackets my actual job. Have to deal with dickheads as per any customer-facing role, but this time they're fucking drunk. It's the worst.
I know.
I hate it as well. When I'm a supervisor, most of my staff are women, and like me being the like little triggered giga-feminist that I am, love it by the way. When I see people at the bar being, darling, I'm like, get the fuck out, leave.
Somebody came around the corner. So I went around the corner for a minute the other day, and they were like, literally for like 20 seconds, and they started banging on the bar, and I was like, Right, okay. So I came back round and I said, what do you want? I was literally gone for 2 seconds. And they were like, I'm so sorry, but here's our girl. I was like, I'm not your no, I am not your girl. Sorry, it triggered me slightly. It continues to trigger me.
This is our Emma.
This
Here
is
she is, sweet maiden of the golden egg. Lord of the Rings quote.
Sweet maiden.
Yeah, but no, I had bar service. That was the 8th thing that came to mind.
Okay.
The 4th thing that came to mind, estate agents. Fuck all of them. I had also pretty much anything in the games industry. No.
Anything in the games industry?
Especially programmers, but pretty much anything in the games industry. Crunch is really bad in the game industry, and gamers are the fucking worst. I like people that like video games. I don't like gamers per se. Can you imagine being a JMod? Like, the amount of shit that people that work on the game get from the community.
Yeah, that's true, actually,
irrespective
yeah.
of what they do.
Yeah.
Even if they've done, like, the best update the game's ever seen.
They still get shit for it.
Or, like, they'll just be using their Twitter, like, casually, and then somebody will be like, why was my account banned? And it's not even like their realm, or they're like a fucking artist or something. And somebody's like, why are the servers going down? You're like, I just draw for a living, mate. What do you want me to do? Can't imagine it. I'll say we. I'll take ownership of it. We are the most entitled, like, subculture on the planet. We are the worst. Worse than K-pop stands is pretty fucking intense as well. I'm just excited to see when you come to editing this, and it's like light-hearted stuff with Kira and me being like, fuck estate agents, fuck landlords, fuck gamers.
Do we want to talk more like 10 worst 10 lists or guilty pleasures? Or
You can move on to another worst 10 if you want.
Worst 10, okay, what we thinking for the next worst 10? Okay, we'll do films.
Yeah, alright. Do you want to start us off?
Top 10 worst films, right.
I should say that what I put down as, like, the worst is one of my favourite films of all time, mind you.
Oh, really?
It's The Room. It's so good. The Room is, like, fucking terrible, but also one of the best experiences in the world.
I haven't seen
You
it.
ever seen The Room? Oh,
No.
dude,
It's tough because, like, there's some films that you know when you watch them and you know that they're really crap, but you still enjoy them anyway.
Yeah.
Do you know which ones? Well, yeah. But there was a Christmas one I watched once though, and it was like they set up like a Christmas it was that bad I literally don't even remember, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, you sure you've seen this one? What else did I have? Human Centipede 3, the first two, some artistic merit. By the third one, it had gone off the deep end.
Okay.
Human Centipede 1, bit weird. Human Centipede 2, Human Centipede 3, it's not worth it anymore.
I've never seen any of them. What can even be the plot line? Like, does he like join people together or something? Join their like heads to their bones or something?
Yeah, they all essentially have the same premise. It's
But,
a centipede made of humans, and they basically eat each other's shit. And then in the second one, it's a
Do
centipede
they try and
made of
escape
humans.
or anything? Are they trying to are they trying to leave?
Ah,
or...
well, yeah, you think.
What's the
wouldn't you?
plot?
Yeah, they absolutely do. Well, it's a centipede made of humans, right? And they eat each other's shit. And they try to stop being a centipede made of humans who eat each other's shit, but it doesn't really work out. And then the second one, you've got a centipede made of humans. Get this, they don't eat each other's shit, but they do. And they try to stop being a centipede made of humans who eat each other's shit. Not really a lot else happens in that one. But in the third one, you've got a centipede, right? Made of humans, and they shit into each other's mouths, which essentially results in them eating each other's shit. And then the same thing happens again. By the third one, it had gotten boring. But the first two, not actually as bad as you would think. Speaking of the sequels that just weren't worth it, for number 3, I put most films in the horror genre, because they're all super predictable and kind of boring, but especially the Saw franchise, because fans of the Saw franchise will talk to you like it's fucking genius, and it's so dull, I hate it.
I think the first Saw, I was like, okay, alright, fine. This is a bit... It's unfortunate that this person is going through some shit and is taking this out on some other people, right? That is a shame.
Yeah,
but like, I was like, okay, well, it's making me uncomfortable, but at the same time, fine. But then I started watching the second one, and I was just like, no.
I get kind of bored of... So Jigsaw... I think it would have been cooler if Jigsaw were just a dickhead to be a dickhead. I hate that now people feel the need to always give villains, like, really weird, complex backstories that usually just, like, rely on, like, abuse or grief as, like, some, like, character-building plot device. It's so boring. How revolutionary would it be? What if Jigsaw was just a knob? Like, what? Like, why are you doing this? Funny? Like, that would have been way more interesting than, like, the actual plot of Saw.
Why are you doing this? Funny.
I also had pretty much anything with movie at the end of the title. Even though they have like cult followings, like none of the scary movies, for example, are actually that funny. But then yeah, just like scary movie, epic movie, disaster movie, anything like that. Not a fan.
I actually watched a film not too long ago and I watched the entire thing. Even though at the time I literally was sitting there, I was watching something on Netflix, and I was like, I would never, ever, ever recommend this movie to anybody else, so why am I watching it? And yet I continued watching it.
What was it then?
I don't know, I can't remember.
Oh, okay.
Made that much of a lasting impression on me.
Fuck's sake. Have you ever walked out of the film?
No, I actually haven't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy like watching films at the cinema that much, but I had a friend who wanted me to come and see Dirty Grandpa with him because he insisted it would be hilarious, and literally I left him on his own. It was so fucking bad that even for like my friend who was like, "Thank you so much for coming with me," like, so I didn't have to come my own, look like a weirdo. I just had to leave. There is not a single good piece of Christmas music. Songs that are good because they take you somewhere. There is no Christmas music that you can listen to any other time in the year that makes you like wish it were Christmas because no one's seeking them out. Christmas music lives off the back of the season, and its music objectively is not very good. They're all the same, and it's some boring fucking rite of passage where everybody writes about the same 4 things for an entire fucking song, and it bangs because at Christmas everybody's wasted all the time and think it's good. That being said, sad Christmas songs I absolutely fuck with.
You like sad Christmas songs?
Yeah, because for a lot of people, Christmas is sad. Some people don't grow up surrounded by family and stuff.
You're actually not even incorrect. It's like, I want to disagree, but I can't. Should we do guilty pleasures?
Yeah, I'll go for some guilty pleasures, mate.
Okay.
I kind of hate the term guilty pleasures a bit, because I think that anything that anybody enjoys must inherently have merit, and therefore should be a guilty pleasure. But I played along, don't worry, I didn't want to be a buzzkill.
I kind of actually sort of knew that that's where it was going to end up going as soon as I saw this game.
Well, it's just like, if you enjoy it, you should be guilty about it, you just fucking enjoy it, innit?
Yeah, very true, very true. What was it called? High Hopes or something like that? Do you remember that one?
Panic at the Disco.
Yeah, but that's kind of like poppy, isn't it? I quite like that.
Yeah.
It's a little guilty pleasure, you know? But it's not really that guilty.
Really been like in the alternative kind of wheelhouse since Ballad of Mona Lisa, probably. Like, I still love Panic's new stuff, but I still prefer their, like, A Fever You Can't Sort Out is one of my favourite albums of all time, because it's so fucking, like, beautifully weird. For me, if I'm playing ball, again, musical theatre, especially Disney musicals, it's not really a guilty pleasure, because I fucking love it and I've performed in musicals, but it's not that common for somebody who looks as openly masculine as me to be into musical theatre, I guess. I don't really see a lot of people in, like, musical theatre groups with beards covered in facial piercings and tats and shit.
That's fair.
And then other than that, I just put some shitty TV, like TV that's so TV that's so bad that it borders on campy, which to me is like fun / good.
Yeah.
So like The Room is like a film that does that.
Yeah.
But then basically anything directed by Ryan Murphy, so like American Horror Story, The Politician, which are both like so shit that they become camp and therefore become good. I don't know what else counts as like a guilty pleasure.
I suppose we've basically established that we just basically shouldn't feel guilty for liking what we like, which is fair.
Exactly. Wow. So woke. Imagine saying something so controversial yet so brave.
I know. Are we keen to try and do the film thing? Like work out the plot of the film from the title and the promotional image of the film?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Miracle on 34th Street, and then this
I
is...
know that's a Christmas film.
Miracle on 34th Street, Maureen O'Hara, John Payne, and it's two people looking at each other, and then a child hugging...
So Miracle on 34th Street, right? Especially back in its day.
Back in its
In
day,
vitro
yes.
fertilization was pretty miraculous, right?
What's the date? It's 20th Century Fox, but the logo is quite old.
I want to say it's isn't it an 80s film, Miracle on 34th Street? Probably early in the 80s, actually. It's from 1947, but it was remade in the 90s. That's the one I'm thinking of. Either way, looking at this promotional image especially, you've got two people who are very much in love with each other, right?
Yeah. With a child hugging, could it be Santa? Could it be?
Yeah, see, we're getting to that, right? We're getting to that.
Okay.
So the guy on the right is what the kids these days call a Jaffa. Do you know what that means?
No.
So a Jaffa is a seedless orange. My guy's firing blanks, right? He busts a nut, but what's the point? His boys aren't swimming. They're not putting the fucking work in. What's the point? So bloody Maureen on the left here, tits straight out of Tomb Raider 1, legend. Bloody Maureen on the left here recruits the services of the most discreet man she's ever seen, who is fully assimilated into a disguise as Santa Claus in the local high street, but is actually a man named Keith, as we can see. And the child that he's hugging is the result of a secret cuckoldry of the guy on the right. We'll call him Jeff, because he's a Jaffa. And Keith rolls up and fucks old Maureen, and they have this child together. And now Keith, again, further assimilating into the role of Santa Claus, who is now wearing the beard, unironically, in his free time, is reconnecting with this child. And it's a miracle on 34th Street, because through this time, couldn't get pregnant because the dude's cum was busted. Cuckold Keith. Next.
I wonder how accurate that is. Well, I love that.
Are we going for
that was
accurate,
great.
or are we?
Oh no, we're doing funny. Yeah, I think that.
Wait, what was that other promotion that said it couldn't happen, but it did? Because I don't know. I'm
Wait, did
I'm
it just
kind
say-
of onto something there.
It couldn't happen, but it did. Wait, and he's. I think you might actually be onto something here. Look at this. And also, she's like whispering something to him, so it could be like, "Oh, by the way, I fucked Keith, and actually, the daughter is his."
He fucked him so good that Keith became two-dimensional. So I'm saying.
Sucked all the juices out. This is the preferred. Should we see if there's any more? Okay, well they're the same.
Why are they hugging like that? Looks like she has like her leg crossed over the other one, like they're trying to have like a sneaky bang.
They fell in love, then they met.
They fell in love. She found her address. Then they met.
They're
Now
missing
she has a restraining order and he can't come within 100 feet.
And maybe the reason that they're hugging like that is because they've been photoshopped together and they've actually never touched.
Yeah, she's had commissioned a snow globe of them together because actually he got a restraining order against her.
Ah. I think this film might be about Christmas in Boston. About being in Boston at Christmas time.
And she summons him there with some kind of snow globe witch trickery. Which is aesthetically probably the shittiest kind of witchery there is. Maybe not the shittiest, but it's definitely down there.
I wonder if it's not actually real and she's like done some voodoo shit with her snow globe and created the human from the snow globe.
Maybe she's just in a coma, you know? Just
Maybe.
One of those classics.
Maybe, yeah, that could be
She
interesting
she
plot
imagined
twist.
the whole thing
Yeah.
because fundamentally she is unlovable for some reason and therefore had to imagine the whole thing because she has a phobia of goats. And that is a deal breaker, isn't it? I had a fab time. I
Me
hope you
too.
had fun.
I did. I had a fantastic time. Thanks very much for joining us there.